Bob is going to be on tour. You can come out and see a show. I am going to be at the Good Nights Comedy Club in Raleigh, North Carolina on September 14th. Please buy tickets to shows. I've heard there's so many tickets to those shows.
Please come out and see me opening for Cactus Tates in Covina on September 19th and 20th.
Then come see me at Portland Helium September 28th. It's going to be a grand time. Please come out, see a show.
And then in October, there's way more shows. You can come see us October. On October 2nd and 3rd, we're going to be at the Fort Worth Hyenas in Dallas. Dallas, Fort Worth Hyenas.
And then on the 4th or the 5th, you can see us in the Dallas Hyenas.
And then October 10th to the 11th, I'm still opening for Cactus Tate and come out and see a show. San Diego mic drop on the 10th and the 11th. More shows like that on my website. Come out, check it, see a show.
Well, it's like that's how you got approved. Hi.
We don't have to start now. I honestly was like, dude, I've missed so many funny things you said. I'm not missing any more. And I would never post with that, but I was like, dude, you're like, hey, he's not sexy. That's crazy.
Dude, that pissed me off, dude.
Oh my God.
I'll let you guys get to it.
Well, come in, yeah, dude, and whenever you want, you can come in here and come chat too. It's literally it's chill as fuck. There's no, yeah.
I'll let you guys cook. Bro.
If you want, if you want, we can pass the mic.
No.
It'd be cool to have him sitting right there like you was.
Yeah, just being chill. All right, give it a clap. Oh wait, are we recording? Yes, we are. All right, you good? You ready?
I'm good. I was born 3 weeks early. I was put in a box.
Let's just start now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of Discombobulated, and we have not had a guest on in a while, and today we have a very, very special guest on, someone who followed me, who I've been following for a long time. I think he's so funny. You know him from being an incredible musician with songs like Looking for Sarah. Incredible talent online. Wasn't even sure if he was like a real person or an account when he followed me. And also some of the greatest chest hair I've ever seen and belly hair. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, everybody, for Chandler Cooper, everybody.
Thank you. Everybody stop.
Everybody calm the fuck down.
Everybody stop. I lifted up my stomach and my stomach was pushed out, and then I immediately sucked in. I have to address that.
Look how different our bellies look.
Yeah.
Dude, I would kill. Hair hasn't even come down to that part of my body. Like, it doesn't grow past here.
Dude, I have
anywhere.
I have like a hemorrhoid in my belly button. I was trying to lift.
You have a hemorrhoid inside of your belly button?
Hernia.
Oh, it's like, dude, you've been wiping your belly button.
Dude, I've been wiping.
I've been shitting and it's coming out just a different hole now.
Dude, I felt so bad because I was like, I just drank a lot of. I chugged my coffee and I'm a little hungover. I'm gonna go and take a shit real quick. So I just pinched a quick shit, and then he was like, "Oh, I gotta pee," and I'm like, "No, the Febreze was in the trash, dude."
Yeah.
So I think you.
You even checked the Febreze was in the trash.
The Febreze in the trash. Yeah.
I did get kind of excited that I was like, "Oh," because you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go drop one real quick," and I was like, "Oh, I gotta pee too." And then so you had ran in there, so now I was like, "Oh, I get to be the, I get to be the, I get to be like, I get to know what you like." And honestly, it didn't smell as bad as you thought. Like, cause sometimes you smell someone's shit and you're like, "Are you depressed?" like you'll just smell someone's shit and I'm like, "Is everything all right?" But like, when I went in there, I had to smell yours and I was like, "Dude, we might be friends." Like, dude, yeah, like, it didn't bother me that much.
I have this thing where I can like tell what medications you're on if you take a shit. Like, I'm like, "Oh, you're on antibiotics." I can tell. I know that one. You're on antibiotics.
Oh, you're taking
dude.
a black
dude,
shit. Like your shit hurts, and every time you're shitting. Oh yeah, dude, an antibiotic shit is no bueno.
Dude, I found out that the black shit means it's blood, and I'm like, I don't think that can't be right.
Is that real?
That's what I heard. I like to drink Pedialytes and electrolytes and stuff, and some Takis. I'll eat the.
You go Takis and Pedialytes?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I'm a fucking weird guy, so I'll be like trying to recover from like a night.
Your
while
stomach's
eating
like,
Takis.
does he want to get better or worse?
Yeah, I'm PEMDASing right now. I'm canceling it out. But yeah, I'll eat it, and my poop will just be green, and I'll get scared.
Oh, you know? Dude, I haven't had green shit in a while.
Yeah, dude, you gotta start eating some like fruit roll-ups or some shit.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I usually when I look at my shit, I'm not worried about the color. I'm worried about like how like separated it all is. Like sometimes I'm just like I love when I take a shit and I turn around and it just looks like the Ninja Turtles are going back home.
You ever take a shit and you look at it in the toilet and you're like, oh my god, I checked every box. There's liquid shit, there's like constipated shit, and there's like turds, but there's also the ones that are like fibrous. And it's like, dude, this doesn't match.
And there was that thing too where you had like all the kind of farts with it too, where you're like, you felt better, you felt worse.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes my farts are just.
I like do you and your girlfriend fart in front of each other? I think,
dude, I'll tell you fucking one crazier.
Yes.
One time, she was talking to me about something. I've actually told this story before online, but this is a real story and people don't believe me. So I like to do this thing where I will reach in my pants and kind of this where the hole is, spread my cheeks so it doesn't make a single fart sound because I have a lot of ass.
Yes, and it does that like.
Yeah, I do that because I'm under the blankets, tucked in under the blanket.
Yes.
I just sat down from peeing and I was like, I kind of have to fart. So I did that. I like spread my hand and doof, a little turd hit my hand.
You shit
while
in
she was
your
talking
hand.
about, I shit in my hand while she was like talking to me. Just a little turd, like a little rabbit turd. And I get up and I go, I have to pee. And she goes, oh, you just peed. And I was like, I have to pee. So I get up and I run to the bathroom.
Turd in hand.
Turd in hand. I'm holding the turd.
You're holding the turd,
Yeah,
and
I'm holding the turd.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
I throw it away, flush it. I'm scrubbing the fuck out of my hands. Oh my God, I had human shit on my hands. My own shit. Like I know what I eat. I'm a weird fucker. And but I can cuss on here.
Yeah,
Fuck,
oh,
fuck,
and
fuck,
yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
fuck,
for
fuck,
sure,
fuck,
yeah,
fuck, fuck, fuck. So, anyways, I get back in. I get back into the bed, and I look at her, and she's like, "You okay?" I was like, yeah, it's fine. So she continues her story, and I stop her. And I go, I have to stop you, Sarah. She goes, what's up? And I go, I didn't have to pee. I lied. And she was like, oh, what? And I go,
I cheated on you. I had to go in there and cheat on you. It was better than I shit in my hand.
I shit in my hand.
Yeah,
and I just had to go toss it in the toilet.
That's awesome.
That was the hardest I think I've ever seen her laugh.
Did you feel kind of crazy that you like threw it in the toilet, but then also part of you was putting it in the sink, that you're just kind of like getting it in like that? Because like you were
Yeah, as
when you
long
were
as it's
washing
in
your
the
hand, like
sewage.
how much was it solid?
It was a little solid one, thank God.
So and like it was just like yeah. And when you washed your hands, like did you? I feel like I don't even know if I'd ever be able to like touch her with that hand. Like I feel like because she knows about it, because it's like we all rip through and we're just like it's just between us.
It's just between us.
No one knows. And then
Hey,
later,
it's my finger in hand too. Get ready for a fucking UTI. You want bacterial vaginosis?
But yeah, dude, and was she? That's how you know if they're cool, if they're like they can handle it. Because like I wouldn't date a girl if she couldn't fart in front of me or I couldn't fart in front of her. Me and my ex. If whenever we were going to work, if one of us was shitting, we would go like you'd be like, I'm coming in, and like I'd hold my breath and like give her a kiss or vice versa, and then we would leave.
Oh, see, I would not walk in the bathroom while someone's shitting.
Even Sarah.
No, we don't do that. I've
It's
always
such a cool barrier to cross because it kind of feels like. It just feels like you were like we thought we knew what love was, but now we're like this is like a deeper side of it.
I think we're both poop shy. Is a
Really?
big thing. Yeah, which is crazy.
You seem poop confident.
Dude, no.
You actually did. That was actually the most nervous I did see you. I thought you were doing a bit, but I was like, I tried to give you nugs and your hands were wet. So instead of being weird, you go and you wiped all of my hands. So I'm like, you're silly. I go, I'm gonna go take a piss, and you're like, no, please, really don't. Like you were sincerely upset that I was gonna go smell your shit. And I went in there like, I sucked it all up. I was like. I actually made a piece of shit out of it, like recycled and took a shit.
For the particles?
Yeah. Dude, that is actually I'm just so glad that we're still recording because I was like, dude, I would like this would be the worst. Dude, we were honestly, I feel like most of the podcast could, and this is how it is all the time, but like outside us talking about, we were talking about Sarah, we were talking about you guys making music, we were talking about you and everything you do, and we were just laughing so hard. And I've known you accumulatively now, like honestly, like since we've been talking, not me on stage or since years, like probably we've been talking for like 2 hours. I do this, and I feel like people do this a lot where they're like, dude, I feel like we're best friends, but yeah, usually you're the one doing the talking. They're like, I like you.
Yeah.
But this is fun because we go back and forth, and I'm like asking you, I'm like, are you fucking with me? And you're like, no. I'm like, dude, me neither. Like, yeah. So
I'm sitting there like
I can smell your
glazing.
shit. Yeah. If you smell girls' BO and you like it, apparently you're like not related. And I think if you can smell another man's shit, you know that you're like friends
Bros,
or whatever.
bros.
Yeah, we're like bros.
Yeah. You know you're not related. That's fucking hilarious.
You never heard that?
No, I know the
Because if they're like it stinks, it's like you might be my sister, or my cousin, or something.
Hey, this smells like my cousin's shit.
Yes.
And I know what that smells like.
Yeah, it's like your armpit. Yeah, the stinks. But if you like their stinks, I think you're like supposed to like marry him. Maybe I don't know. But I'm yeah. Are you guys gonna get married? And is that too crazy?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
That's
We've
so
been together
cool.
2 years.
Well, and I know, dude. I could tell in the song that I was like, this is probably about someone he loves or the girl that he used to love and will never see again.
And I'd known her for a year when I made that song too.
Yeah, how do you display a song like that? Because like if I do a joke about a girl, eventually they're just at that show and I've like told them I'm gonna do the joke, and then they're like, oh, I thought that was funny. But with the song, you have to be like, you ready?
Well-
like, did they sit down? Did you play it? Like, I would be so embarrassed.
Dude, so I made 3 songs in a week. I made Funny, Nauseous, and Looking for Sarah in the same. in the same.
Dude, I have questions about that stuff. Keep going, because I love how you make music, bro.
Thank
Keep
you,
going.
dude. Yeah, I think Funny is my best writing ever, no doubt. and people shit on it so hard when it came out.
That's so funny. And then the
peop-
one you didn't care about, do people give it so much praise and you're like, what? That's the opposite of what I wanted to happen.
I care about all of them. That's kind of the thing, is I will only release it if I care about it. But the one that shocked me the most was my biggest song, which is Away From Me. Because I'm like, that song, like, I made that blacked out as a joke. I'm like, it was me going, you know, fucking MGK so big right now, and I was, you'll be my bloody Valentine, and so we were gonna make like a Shawn Mendes type song and be like huge and like magical, and we get to this guitar sample, and I hear it and I go, I didn't know I loved you up until you left me. I didn't know I needed all the lies you said to me. When you said you love me and nanny boo boo and you cannot catch me and you left me lonely.
Yeah.
And that's the entire song. So the song was written so, but
that's what's weird. I think people, and I don't know if people like, if like either I feel like you kind of are creative or you're confused about like if you are creative.
Yeah.
But I literally until a couple years ago through listening to, I think it was like watching a Beatles documentary and then like a band that I love, my favorite band, they were talking about this, like how you just said that, like you just have a vibe. I thought you literally had to sit down and like meditate and you're like, all you need is love. Like I thought it had to fully come through you, but it's like, no, it's more of like and that's kind of how jokes are too, where it's like, or like an idea you might have for TikTok or anything where you're like, oh, it feels like something, and then you try to like just give birth to it and like figure it out or whatever. Like, but I don't know the music side of it, but that's cool that you're like, so you were writing a separate song.
I was making a parody song of MGK,
Yes.
and then we ended up. But in that song, it's still the same like nanny boo boo, you can't catch me type melody, and then it's still me doing I didn't know I loved. It's like still MGK as hell, which is funny.
Are you big? I like MGK. I think he's cool. I feel like
I like MGK too, but at that point it was 2021, and I just could not get the fuck away from him.
I don't think like anyone could. I feel like my mom was like, oh my god, I'm getting a lot of MGK.
Tickets to My Downfall.
Yeah,
Fire,
yeah. What is
dude.
that? Is that a
That's
song?
his album.
Oh, yeah.
His
I
album
listen
from back then.
Okay.
But it was like pop punk,
Okay.
and it has some of the best pop punk songs I've ever
Which is
heard.
getting kind of a little bit of a resurgence, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
Because that's like what I grew up with or whatever. But so you were right. You said you were writing those songs. We were talking about Sarah. I didn't want to get too off track,
Oh,
but
no,
I do
you're
love
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, Looking for Sarah, when we made this song, I was like, oh my God, this is the best song I've ever made. Like, this is, like, it's not close. This is the best song I've ever fucking made. And I was like, I went into that project. It's coming out soon. It's called LOL, I Swim Real Good, I Swear It.
Say that again.
LOL, I swim real good, I swear it.
Yeah.
Based off this insult where people were like, you look like you couldn't swim. I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you, dude.
It was originally, people said, you look like you have asthma. That's I always got told that. You look like you have asthma.
You kind of do look, yeah. That
I
sucks
look a
that
little
people
asthmatic.
say that, and that's not. I don't like that, but I feel like I also look like something might be wrong with me, or like I have like a scar somewhere that like that they took a part out of me or something.
The original name of the project was like, I swear to God, I don't have asthma.
Yeah,
But then I was like, LOL, I swim real good, I swear it. Yeah,
it's a better. I like it. It's fun. It's pops.
it's
popular.
definitely a mouthful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, oh my God, like I was so nervous because I got dumped. Here's an EP. LOL was the one I made when I was 22. It has like my song. I don't know if you heard some of those, but they
Yeah, I listened. I felt like I started listening to you, and then I started to be like, after I started listening to you for too long, I was like, I think I got to meet him first, because I was like, I feel like if I kept listening to you for so long, and then I was like, I'm gonna listen to him, and then like that is, I have a 3.5 hour car ride. And I'm gonna literally listen to your entire discography, and I'm not just saying that because I really did like your music, because I was like, I actually liked your videos and didn't listen to you before you followed me. I didn't listen to your music because there's certain people like Petey or certain people where I'm like, I don't want to mix something up if I already like this person so much.
Yeah.
And then because of how, you have the mix it's on your feed.
Yeah.
I started watching your stuff, and then I was like, fuck. Because you remind me of kids I went to, when I say kids, I was like, we were in high school, but like my buddies I went to high school with, like my buddies Josh and Mike and like all these guys who were like in bands.
Yeah.
They were just like you. They were incredibly talented musicians, but also the funniest guys. And not just doing stuff for like, dude, you see that movie? Like literally doing something where I'm like, I've never seen a guy like fucking do this. But I'm like, we've all did versions of that, but that guy's grabbing a thing we can't grab, like that in his specific like self or whatever. So yeah, it's cool to see that both things are awesome, because I feel like dude, I feel like even sometimes like Keanu Reeves like played guitar one time, and you'll see a video and you're like, that didn't look like I'd hope it looked. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of think it would look sick, and you're like, all right, he's kind of just standing there.
It's kind of like when that guy Ed Helms from The Office and like the Hangover movies, when he starts singing, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And they're like, why do you fucking sing and everything? It's like, I like singing. And it's like, yeah, but it's a
Yes, yes.
Or
And it's
Jimmy
like the same
Fallon.
note.
Jimmy
Yes.
Fallon, when he's like singing, he's like, well, good. He's
Yeah,
like this
for
weird
sure.
like Bob Dylan thing, and I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Which I can't sing at all. I feel like that we were talking about Tim Robinson because I feel like right now everyone has like an affinity and love for him. Yeah. But that there's like that clip from Detroiters when he's trying to sing and they're like, fine, then you sing. He's like, Deborah! And like trying to sing. I am like that. And I feel like singing is such a gift. I feel like it's such a crazy, crazy gift.
I think the thing with it was I was always pretty funny. And when I was like 3 years old, I learned my first impression. And it was Stitch, and I can't do it now, but
like from Lilo,
like
and
Lilo and Stitch,
yeah.
And then I started like honing it, like.
And did it make kids laugh or adults laugh? Because those are different laughs. Like, were you making like?
It made the adults laugh.
That's the important laugh. Yeah. That one matters.
My brother, who is like 4 years older than me, he would come home from like school or whatever, he'd be like, do Stitch, and so so
you entertained him.
Yeah, so and
that's
his friends,
very cool.
And
that's
his friends
very cool.
and stuff. Yeah, but. I just kept learning new impressions, and then I started doing impressions of singers singing. And so that was where I started getting better at singing, like a lot better.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I have a song called, like, I do a lot of the female voices in my songs. Oh my God, hi. Like I do like that.
That's you?
Yeah. So I
you do that is great.
Thank you, dude. So I do like in my song New Chevy, I'm like Chandler, hey, you're saying her name in your sleep again.
That's good. That looks like when one of those videos where eventually they're like, I'm a guy, man.
Yeah.
Like when they show they're like doing like a chat roulette.
It was this guy, I follow him, or I'm friends with him now, but his name is Nick Bean. And Nick Bean used to go on like You Now, which is like Omegle back in the day, kind of. Not really. It was a live streaming app.
Yeah.
He would go on there and be like, hello, hi, how are you? And I thought it was so funny. And I was like, I'm going to dedicate like months to this. And so I dedicated like 6 months to trying to learn it without any like. And then my buddy Cody.
Like you could, like they could say anything. You're not just learning phrases. You're trying to learn to fully talk like that.
Yeah. So my buddy Cody taught me. He was like, yeah, there's like the root. There's always a root impression. And his was, hello. And so he would do that, hello. So
that's really good.
You would call him and he'd go, hello. And you're like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, girl? How are you?
That's
and
great.
There was one time, one of my buddies, he was like, I was like staying at his house or whatever. I got to LA and he was like talking to this girl. And she was like, who you with right now? Like being like a real bitch. And I didn't like her. And I go, who are you talking to? Get off the phone. And she, in that moment, confessed that she'd been cheating on him while like screaming at him because she thought,
was with a girl.
Yeah, and
he thought she was with a girl.
He FaceTimed her and she didn't answer, and he FaceTimed her like 30 times. So boom, decline, boom, decline. And he's like, answer the fucking phone, and flips the camera, and it's me. I go, hi, you're cheating?
Oh my,
so crazy.
God.
I didn't actually feel bad.
What a good. Well, yeah, you're like the superhero. Like, there's nothing better than being able to be that guy because you get the least damage in that.
Yeah,
like
not in the shot.
Oh, yeah, scoot. Oh, dude, I was having so much fun talking. Scoot in here, baby.
Dude, we get so fun. We just
keep going. We're like, dude, great talking to you, man.
Yeah. So basically, like by the end of it.
Please follow us on Patreon. Every follow helps. Every dollar helps. If you want free stickers, if you want free stuff, please follow the Patreon for bonus material and other stuff like that. Thank you so much.
But I do want to ask, because I didn't want to get too far off, how did you, from Blackface to this, how did you show Sarah that song? How did you display that song? And did she take it well? Like, I'm so curious, because now she's also in the band and the song's about her.
Well,
which is very cool that his girlfriend Sarah, who is lovely, sweet, everything. You guys are so cute together. Everything about you is very beautiful. And then he's like, yeah, and she's also the bass player in my band. I'm like, that's unreal.
It's sick. Yeah, it's sick.
She's your Cassandra. You're like, you guys are like Wayne's World, like Wayne and fucking Cassandra. That's crazy.
She's really dope. I showed it to her and I was actually like low-key kind of nervous she was gonna hate it.
Yeah. Just
because it talks about like Looking for Sarah goes through this like it's a storytelling. All my songs are storytelling, and they're very, very meticulously made. So, like, I'm very intentional with every single word is very intentional. With Looking for Sarah, it's about me, how I was having casual sex and loving the casual. Like, that's what it is.
I usually guess wrong on songs. I swear to God, I was thinking about that song, and after I met Sarah, I was like, I wonder what that's for. And I literally was like, oh, I feel like it's like he's like all these girls he's going through, trying or like whatever, not like in a shitty way, but just like you're like. That's not her. And then you find Sarah and you're like, this is what I've been looking. Is that in a way? That's
what
cool.
it is. Beautiful. That's why in the second verse I say I've been down passing out on another stranger's couch, I thought I was comfy.
Yeah.
I haven't broken mirrors in 7 years. I wonder how to end up here. I'm still unlucky. Like that. There's so much.
I feel that as a person, I resonate with that.
I was worried. I was worried that she was gonna not like it because I say the first line is, "I've been out making out with someone I'll forget about. Ain't that funny? I've been missing out. Tell me how I kept I love you in my mouth, but I taste nothing."
That's some sick lyrics.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, and so looking for yous got me confused. So I'll just pass. They never last. It's true. Looking for yous, too much too asked. Like there's no going back. I've been looking for Sarah at that hotel bar. I've been looking for Sarah underneath my scars.
Yeah.
The original line is, dude. That song. By the way, I think one of the biggest things about being an artist is understanding when to turn it off. And that's something a lot of people miss the mark on. I think that's when their music starts. Like you
and do you mean in the song or when to turn it off or like
in the
creatively in the writing?
Okay. Like I knew with that. So there's a long story, but there's this guy, Houston Kendrick, my buddy Silas, and my buddy Jay. And we were all in the studio. Which is like one of the first songs I've ever made in a studio. Actually, I think "Looking for Sarah" was the first song I've ever made in a studio. I'm a bedroom artist typically.
Well, you're right.
And
Which is hard. I honestly think it's harder to do because if you had friends, I had friends who had music stuff, they could figure it out together. When you're figuring out in your room, it's cringy and embarrassing. But like you getting through that cringy and embarrassing, there's so many people that could do what we do, but didn't get past being like, man, this doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my thing was with Jay, I've always done stuff at his house, and with everybody, like I've made my song Eye to Eye. It's like low key. Eye to Eye is a really dope record, and it was made in his kitchen. And so like it's tough. But my thing with the studio was like I get there, and I don't have I check the ego at the door when it comes to the studio. I want my people to have some ego to them, but I don't want full ego, and I don't come in with an ego.
And do you mean that like by the time that you're going to produce the song, you're like, I don't care if someone like says something about it, you're going to try not to take it personal because you realize you're like creating something? Do you mean like that?
Yeah, it's like I walk in and I don't have an intention of writing 100% of the song. I want collaboration. I like to be in a room where I'm the dumbest in the room at something. Like that's where I thrive, is being able to go, okay, what does this song need, and being able to kind of direct that. Okay. And with Looking for Sarah, I got to really take a back seat and just go and just guide the room. Yeah. And so like that was really, really cool, because usually I'm like one of those like I write, and I came from rap, so I was like really against collaboration.
Yeah, we were talking about rap before we got in here. I told you that I was like, I just don't, like, I've heard songs, but I don't know how the world of it works. Yeah, and you like, you are very intentional with your songs. You like other artists that are intentional and stuff. Where like, I'm like completely opposite, and I think I like that. I have friends that are like that too, that care about that, and the fact that someone's doing the meticulous work to make sure the puzzle pieces fit. Where I'm just like, you can throw art anywhere on a wall and it works. Like,
and it's also tough because you want to be like, I think my song Nauseous. I don't know.
Really like that song Nauseous. Yes, yeah. I went and listened to that after it because I love that you can mix it together. Like when you guys were doing the video, you're like standing there in boxers and you're like shaking your butt.
Yeah.
And or whatever. And then I was listening to that and I laughed at that and I was like, I'm gonna listen to that song.
Thank
I was
you,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
You know, I saw that video again, and I was like, holy shit, my ass is moving like that.
You got a dunk.
I was like, damn. I was like,
you got a dunk, which made me, I was excited to meet you and know that Sarah was real, because I didn't know if you could, like, once you start shaking your butt and you're silly, like, guys like you are in right now.
Thanks, man.
Like, guys like you that are like, these silly guys that look like they have asthma, but they're that are like, and can make music, and they're like, this guy's a comfy, silly bitch. Like, you were so cool, so I thought I was gonna meet you and be like, there's a lot of Sarahs out there, bro. But the fact that you're a very genuine, fun guy is like very cool to know that you're like, I come into the room trying not to have an ego. Cause like when you meet other artists, it can be interesting because you're like, you could be a complete psychopath. You don't know where like the art comes from.
Dude, I've actually been in rooms with people where I'm like talking to them and they're like, yo, I'm like a genius. And I'm like, yeah, I'm walking out. You know, like people say that. They're like, yo, I'm like trying to make it to the fucking Grammys right now. Like, I know. You understand? I don't think
I'm gonna walk there right now.
I don't think. And honestly, if I feel like I'm like, as a person, I'm easy to go, okay.
Yeah.
But when people like insult my music, I'm a lot quicker to be like, okay, let me break down. Like, let me break this down for you now.
Yes, because you're like, I've put so much work into it. Everything else is silly to me. And I feel the same way with my stand-up, where I'm like, if someone doesn't like my stand-up, I don't care. But if someone was going to be like, I think you got to do this or this, I'm like, I get defensive because I'm like, I know how hard I worked to build this thing. So you're going to knock on it and think you can tear it down. And I'm like, there's way more to it. You think I just wrote a song in a second and that I don't care about it. And I'm like, you can't tear me apart.
Yeah.
Everything else is silly. But this thing I take very seriously a little bit.
Yeah. Nauseous was an interesting one because like I made that song. I hadn't released a song in like over a year. And I was like, I need to bring something back. And it was one of those, like, we made the song and we were like, this is a little bit too artsy. It's too much of a risk. So we need to make like the hits. So we made Look for Sarah as like the lead single. And I was like, no, this formula doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like this formula doesn't work for people. It works for people who already have like a label backing, but it doesn't work for people like me. I was like, so let's lead with the interesting one. Because Nauseous is an art piece where, for those of you who have not heard it, Nauseous is a song where it starts off with my these audios of me as a little kid creating when I was 10. So it starts.
That's very cool. So you really wanted, you've always wanted, you've had this.
Yeah.
It was like the Lilo Stitch thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually you were like, I'm going to keep making music and be like, these things were always, it was always mixed.
Yeah, it was always mixed. And then when in 2009, I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. And then I was a kid. I was in like 5th grade in 2009. So I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. My dad helped me out. So my dad would film stuff for me when my mom wasn't home.
That's very sweet because like I feel like I still came from like the last end of the generation. Even like some of the other parents weren't like this. But if you were creative, your parents were like, that's not
paying the bills.
It's not paying the bills. It doesn't even seem like part of it. And then there was like a switch to where someone's like, whatever you want to do, I'll help you. And I'll also at some point be like, maybe knock this off or whatever. But that's so sweet that your dad wanted to help you. And he's in your videos too, which is like, that's
and
so
he
cool.
still is, you know, and that's the cool thing. But I had a buddy come over and he was like, his name is Parker. And Parker was like, he's like, yo, like we're into rap now, all of us guys. So you got to get into rap. And I was like, I'm not going to listen to rap. I'm not going to. And he showed me Eminem and I was like, this doesn't do anything for me. He sounds angry.
Yeah,
and
I was like scared of Eminem. Him and Slipknot like were kind of synonymous in the same. Like I was just like,
especially all those like photo shoots that he did where it was like murderer shit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this guy's scary. And then they showed me Ass Like That. He's on The Way You Shake It. I can't believe it. I ain't never seen an ass like that. Hillary Duff ain't quite that old enough yet. I ain't never seen a butt like that.
Yeah.
You make my pee pee go. La doing doing doing.
That's Eminem.
Yeah, and he goes, what do you mean, freeze, please? I'm a human being, Mr. Officer. We haven't even got to Mary Kate shower scene. Like, and it's like this, like really creepy.
I don't know any of the deep Eminem cuts.
Oh, dude, he's funny as fuck. Like, genuinely has funny ass records. But Ass Like That, he made it like on a drug binge. Brother, that song I immediately started writing, and I've not stopped since I heard Ass Like That. It like lit something in me.
Yeah.
And so I heard Ass Like That, and I just started writing, and then I started singing the hooks. And when I started singing the hooks, I was like, fuck, I'm better at singing the hooks than I am rapping. It's a disservice to the song. So I've always gone into stuff like, what does the song need? And with Looking for Sarah, Houston stood up. We had started making the song, like making the beat first. And we just kind of had like a building block. And that's when you start freestyling melody. So what'll happen is I'll hear like somebody playing like guitar and I'll hum a melody. And basically, I don't know how to play a guitar, but like someone, boom, and I was
ding,
okay,
that's more of a bass.
So I'll be like, so
boom, 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 boom,
I'm feeling here, I'm okay here, and so that's basically what I do.
And then just trying to you're just trying to find it.
So I do melodies, and then I find out my voice memos are full.
By the way, that was a terrible example. Like what I did to try to help, I couldn't be more musically uninclined, and he did a great job of not being like, it's his podcast. I shouldn't be like, that's not what I'm looking for at all. But I'll like go along with it, and then we'll just work our way out.
Yeah, but I try to lead like that. So I do like the melody first, and then I attach lyrics to it, and then I'll have a whole song, and I'll go, okay, what the fuck am I saying? And I'll go through and I'll change, like, if it's third person, I'll make the whole song third person, or I'll go through and that's when I'll write. So I'll usually have a whole song freestyled. Like Funny's original. Let me try to find this real quick. The original Funny freestyle is final. Okay, this is the original Funny freestyle.
I feel like myself, but they don't want to see it. They don't want to help me. They just want to break me down. I know what I'm feeling. They don't want to feel it. I know that I see this, but they don't want to bring me down.
And then
Call that often, but I don't think they'd even call.
I'm just like, but yeah, but so
that
like,
part I like too, because I also like that is fun where you like how you change different stuff. Which like back in the day you'd have to be like,
we have to figure out a way to make that sound, but now because you can change shit and stuff,
Yeah.
it feels like so much more fast to play around.
Yeah, and it's cool too because funny is structured as a joke. Like funny is supposed to be a joke. Like that's the whole thing about it. It's about people like myself who use like humor as a defense mechanism. Like when I was a little kid, if I got in trouble, I would start laughing. Not because I'm like being maniacal, but I would if I got uncomfortable.
You just
laugh.
like I don't feel. Yeah.
Yep. So it's about like when or like somebody says something and then deflects it with a joke. So I'm saying like I'm sorry I don't seem deeper than the things you notice. I guess I'm scared to open up for someone just to close it. And it's this whole like fucking cornball song. And then at the end I say all my friends keep talking. They say that I just keep it fun, but they don't call that often. Maybe I'll end up alone if I wasn't just joking. But the way I present it using the environment around me as comedy, I make it to where there's a build up. Maybe I'll end up alone if I wasn't just joking.
Yeah.
And I do it like that. So it ends on like, that's the climactic like punchline.
Yeah. And whenever you do something like that, is that when you say you come into, is that an idea you had already, or you come into the studio and someone's like, what if you do this?
I was just mad inspired.
Yeah, you were just mad. You were like feeling it.
I was feeling the room.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my producer, Jay, he was like, you know what, dude? I would never ever. He was like, I would fight any fucking artist on this. I think it's stupid, but he was like, but I don't think it's stupid for you. He's like, so I'm going to let you have this. Because we have this, I love skits. I put skits in all my stuff. I love voice acting and doing that stuff. So like I'll do like all these different skits and shit. And so we started looking for Sarah and we start making this song and I go, I have an idea. And he goes, don't fucking say a skit. No skits. And he starts hitting his hand. He goes, no skits. I go, okay.
Yeah.
Then he calls me. He's like finishing the song. I'm back in Texas like a couple months later. And he goes, hey, Chan, what's up? He goes, I need a skit. I go, cool. I got you. And he was like, all right, can you send me a couple voice memos? So like there's like on my phone. Like I have all the voice memos and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like looking for Sarah, I guided the room and like Houston Kendrick walked up there and he just goes, I've been out making out with someone I forget about. Please don't judge me. I've been missing out. Tell me how, but body da yada bo. Please don't judge. And he just does that and just freestyles and then he leaves. I'm like, oh my God. And then Silas did the same thing. So he's like, I've been looking. And you know, Houston was like, oh my God, I have this idea for a song. What if we got it Looking for Sarah? Beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, you're like, in my notes 2 weeks before I had written down, I'm searching for Sarah. And that's what I wanted to do. And so when that moment happened, I like almost like, I like teared up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wow, this is meant to happen. This is the one.
That is funny because I don't write. I very much lightly dabble. That's like the art form I wish I could do more is so I will always write lyrics if I have an idea. And like the other day I had like an idea that I was like, oh, I think that does tie back in. And it's like a thing, it's like an unfinished puzzle piece you're never gonna do. Yeah. But when I hear you say stuff like that or anything, it just makes you know like I'll hear a guy say something funny, I'm like, dude, you should do stand up. And they're like, I probably can't do it. I'm like, yes, you can. So it feels cool to know that those things happen. Do you put a lot of your notes? Is that where you write most of your songs in your phone?
In my I did the journal approach for a while, but the better obviously you get better when you do the reps, but the better you get at writing it, I'm better at typing it fast.
Me too.
Than I am at writing because it'll be.
I feel like they're two different things. It's like skateboarding or like surfing, and it's like they're just different. They look the same, but like I can type something really fast and go back and know exactly what I was thinking. Whereas I'm trying to write, sometimes I'm like I can't even fucking get it quick enough.
Yeah,
and I feel like we have that. We live in that generation where we go so fast. Dude, it'll piss me off when my notes app can't keep up with me or something. Like something's like slow, or you're like, why the fuck won't it?
That's a big thing with my voice memos.
Yes.
My voice memos, I do that.
And now with voice memos, have you seen that you can retrack over something so you can make a beat?
Yeah.
That is, I the other day just made a diss. My friend was sleeping. The girl I go on the road with, she didn't wake up, so I just made a diss about how she's an idiot and like sleeping in. And I was like, you're fucking. I just made fun of her and sent her that. And I was like, it is cool when you can make creative stuff as quick as you could. I remember trying to fuck with GarageBand while I would shit at work, and I'm not kidding. I would just go shit like at this shit dumb job I had, and I would just try to be like. Every time I shit for 2 minutes. That's a song. Try to make a song in 2 minutes. And then eventually it would just be like, yeah, but these songs aren't really like inspiring because I'm like shitting. Or
you think about it too much? I think my thing that was my superpower back then was I was kind of a dumbass. Like that was like really like in the end of the day, that was kind of what it was I was like, I'm gonna be the best rapper I still rap.
But you also said you were gonna be a dumbass, but you also said that you try to come into the room being the dumbest person. And I think knowing that you're like, I am a dumbass, but I'm also like trying to learn and I'm like, I'm not scared of any of that stuff.
I'm great at what I do, but I would like to be in a room with people who are great at what I don't do. Or who are better than me.
Yes.
You know, like I think
that's what I see from all the upper echelon people. You start to see that they're like, they just see other greatnesses, like how like, just two animals in the wild, like just see each other, whatever. They're like, I'm not scared of you. You do a completely different thing. I could actually learn. My favorite band is Story of the Year, and they were the guitar player from Senses Fail. They were both talking. And I heard him, he goes, dude, we really need to like play guitar together.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I know. He goes, you can do things I can't do. He goes, and you can do things. And just hearing them say that, and you're just like, oh yeah, there's nothing like, we all have these different things we can do. There's never like, someone's never even getting in your lane. We're like fucking all going so much our own way. Anyone getting in your lane, I feel like is wallowing and kind of like looking for something besides like their own, like what's in
and it's so easy to sniff it out too.
Yeah, it is really easy. Like if someone is trying to do an impression of something, it feels like, and when I started stand up, I remember Nikki Glazer told me, she goes, you know, you kind of sound like this comic who, dude, he used to stand up a lot. He doesn't as much anymore. He's so funny, Tommy John again. And she was like, you kind of sound like him. I go, I know, and I'm not trying to. She goes, no, I used to sound a lot like Sarah Silverman. She goes, you kind of are like inspired by these people, but eventually you kind of like, you just like let go of that.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference too, where someone's like trying to be like someone and then other people are trying to find themselves. And I think that's the difference between like stealing or just coming into your own or whatever.
With Eminem too, specifically, like with Eminem, Eminem's like every rapper's favorite rapper and shit, you know. And like the only time that people are successful outside of Eminem is if they're trying to not be Eminem. Like anytime someone's like, that booty is heavy, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Anytime somebody's doing shit and sounds too much like Eminem, it's corny. Yeah, because that's like his thing.
Yes, well, that's why I think my friends just went to see Prof. Do you like Prof?
I don't know who Prof is.
Interesting. You should check. I think you should check him out. He's very unique. His style. His style is very unique. But the thing about him is that, like I said, that I was like, he's so unique and found something that's so himself that now you can't unhear it. And if anyone tries to do that, you know they're impersonating him or whatever. Yeah. Because
Jim
there's like
Carrey's one of those.
Oh yeah,
Jim Carrey's great at being Jim Carrey. If somebody acts like Jim Carrey, I instantly want to fucking kill myself. I want to kill myself when somebody tries to.
I know, dude. You know, when I was a kid, I used to think about it. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be, Jim Carrey. And I would think about being like, how do you act like that? And you're like, it has to come in from inside you. Just like the thing of like what you do when you do your character. Yeah. I was like, when we were laughing about it, like later I was telling my friend, and on the phone I was like, and I tried to do it, and it's like you can only go into it if it's what you're supposed to do. You ever see like a dog who lives with cats try to act like a cat, and you're like, yeah, you're not doing it right. Yeah. Like you're not doing it exactly right. Yeah. But when you let it like out, like I can't explain it, but you just have to let that feeling like happen. And that's how I know that, like when I see other people, it's like sometimes this guy was like, dude, I feel like he like kind of stole your joke. And I'm like, that's fine, because I know I'm eating from like this creative place and I'm getting the full meal. Totally. You can have any of the crumbs that you think, and you can try to follow me, but like that gets, after a while, you're just following. And I feel like it's so much better to just go your own way and find that.
Yeah. There's, and with that, with the belly thing and shit, anybody who copies it gets shut the fuck down quick.
Very quickly.
Even if someone who doesn't follow me, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? That's Chandler Cooper.
Yes, and that's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. They call it the Chanarchy.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, like it's really hard to replicate it, and it's so evident that like, you know, but I have another account, Susan Bennett's Pay Pig 2, where like on Chandler Cooper, I just don't talk. But on Susan Bennett's Pay Pig 2, I'm not shirtless and I don't shut the fuck up.
Okay.
And so it's like, hey everybody, this is my penis. What the hell are you talking about, your penis? Okay. What the hell? And by the way, Bobby Jaycox. Oh yeah, you fucking freaking name Jaycox.
Dude, you're so good at holding on to that, because I feel like all of us can only hold it for like a second, unless it's like that character. Because like I've watched your videos for, I don't know how long I've been following you, but every time I watch your videos, I remember like I kept seeing you do that character, and then I was like, how does he hold it? And then even more interesting is whenever you be like, you feel it, and then you go, and I just, as an outsider, you go, oh wow, I feel like that tornado's gonna fuck me. And then that guy's bad. And then to take that and then go, and like the mask, like a Jim Carrey version of the mask, to switch and go, oh maybe. Like how those things, I'm like, you're just like playing a guitar so well, and a guy's like, I have the same guitar, I can't play it like that.
You know I think a lot of it comes from is when I was little, I was into ventriloquism. Into it.
Like you had more than one, or
in my adult life I ended up having like 8.
That's way too
But,
many. And I
like-
love you, and I know you for not very long, and I smelled your shit, but that's the stinkiest thing.
I sold all of them. I sold all of them except for one. I was like, I
Like,
can
if
have
you met
one.
Jeff Dunham, you'd cry.
Not now. I think he's like a. Isn't he like a? I think he's became like a weird conspiracy theorist, anti-vax. I wouldn't really give a fuck. I don't think, dude. I don't think I would give a fuck about if any ventriloquist walked in a room. I'd probably go, ooh.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't
That's
even know any besides him, I don't think.
If back in the day, yeah, there was this one guy, and he would always come to the elementary schools when we were in elementary school.
It's not a good sign.
Not a good sign. But he had this like thing called like the Banana Bunch. And they would just kind of pull up. I think he was from like Oklahoma or some shit. It's kind of like Tiger King used to come to our elementary schools. Joe Exotic. Yeah. So I actually have a picture somewhere from Tiger King.
Yeah.
But it's me as a little kid holding on to a baby
all
tiger.
I can do is picture that guy walking around a school and how scared you are if you're like taking a piss at the little tiny urinals you do and you're like a kid and then Joe Tink walks in and he goes, man, you want to hold my gun? Like he's like a guy. He's like, dude, no one can tell you can't be nothing. You ain't nothing gonna be. Like I just
when
picture him at
Tiger
school.
King when Tiger King hit, I didn't even put two and two together. And then someone was like, "Yeah, he used to come to the school." And then I'd repressed him because he was such a fucking prick to us.
Oh yeah, I'm
He
sure.
was awful. Now you're holding the tiger wrong. We're sitting there like this, and you're handing us a milk bottle and saying, "Now feed the tiger." And
Yes.
it's a baby tiger. Like it's so fucking sick. But fuck you, Joe. But no, like,
Which is crazy. You're kind of a part. Which is crazy to be like you were like. Like when you watch that documentary, you're not that far removed from it. Like you're like, yeah,
he's up
that's
the road.
crazy.
He's in here in this town in Fort Worth. That's where he's in
Really?
prison. That's where he's in prison. Is here. He's
Why-
in the
dude,
prison.
I
here.
would really like to see if we could. There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Dude, I loved when my favorite thing was when Trump got put into office, that
was your favorite thing ever?
I love Trump, dude.
That was my
I love
favorite
him
thing to
so-
ever
no.
happen.
No, but my favorite thing, not when he was put into office, but it was like 2020. Trump is starting to be like, this COVID thing is really gay.
Yeah.
And so like all this stuff's happening, and then Joe Exotic's like, I love you, Trump. Get me out. And he like they have a limo waiting for him because Trump is ending his term and he's about to do all the pardons. And he's like, fuck Joe Exotic. And he's like, I love he's like, make America great again. I'm Joe Exotic. And then Biden comes in and Biden's like, hey guys. God bless America. And then Joe Exotic's like, Mr. President, I love you so much. I loved it, dude.
I would definitely say a lot of things to get out of prison.
Yo, for sure.
Oh my god, I
Dude,
would say yes.
It's like, okay, Joe Exotic, you're not a Democrat.
You're- yeah, I don't even know if that guy. I don't even know if you can vote. Like I don't, and maybe like he probably.
No,
gets
he can
the-
run, though.
He can run.
He can run for president. He would win.
Dude, that would be crazy. Yeah, I remember watching that documentary, and you're like,
I never watched it.
you haven't. It doesn't seem like the whole time it's happening. You're like, no, this seems just like a really good, like Kyle Mooney like made a sketch. Like you know what I mean? Like it feels like such a weird, silly thing, and like I don't know. And it also. Like now I'll go by places like I don't remember we were in like Oklahoma. I don't remember where we were driving, but we saw one of those like not a Joe Exotic, but like one of those places.
Yeah.
And I have like that feeling that's not good where I'm like, man, I don't want to stop there, but I have never seen a tiger that close. And there's a party that wants to go, but you're like, it's like a bad thing. But I'm like, you can like see him when you're drive by. You see it like walking along the fence, and you're like,
It's kind of like with SeaWorld. You're like, fuck this place. And
But
then
I've never seen
they
a
release
whale.
SeaWorld Aquatica, and then you can swim with stingrays. You get in there with stingrays and you feed them. And you're like,
yes.
fuck.
I'm a little bit where I'm like, I can't fight it, so I'm gonna go every once in a while. I do go to a zoo, but I don't go out very often. But if I'm gonna go to a zoo, I go.
I like to go to preservation spots. I'm a big tortoise guy, so I like going to places where.
Which you do. You do have. How many? You have 2 tortoises, right?
I have 2 tortoises and a 3-toed box turtle.
Beautiful.
Yeah, 3-toed box
Can
turtle.
they mix up? Can they all hang out?
No, it turns out the fucking sulcata tortoise, which is the 3rd largest species of tortoise in the world, he wants to fucking destroy the box turtle, and they live together, which is like not the best, but I found they're so resilient, the box
Yeah.
turtles. So I like made it happen, and then he would like get on top of her, and he got really heavy. He had hit a growth spurt and became a bully. Which happens, and so they're separate. They're all separated. They have separate stuff. And my box turtle's the happiest she's ever been. Her name is Mildred, and then my sulcata's name is Keith, and then Sarah's tortoise Puppy. His name. He's a red-footed
Puppy?
tortoise Puppy. Yeah, but Keith's like this big.
Yeah.
I got him when he was this big.
Where from?
Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, they're probably just breeding tortoises.
Yeah, they're like, our tortoises had hatchlings, 75.
Yeah, I knew someone who bred like spiders, and I'm like, what a scary job.
Yeah.
Like, what a weird. Like, I'm not even that scared of spiders, but I'm like, I'm scared enough to not want 90 of them.
Yesterday I was at the North American Reptile Breeder Conference, and I actually have pictures. I'll show you. I'll show you some.
My
I'll show you
God.
some. But like, I was there yesterday. I know a lot of people who do comedy are like, but like they had fucking prairie dogs.
Beautiful prairie dogs.
They had
What the-
this calf. They had these Pac-Man frogs. That's a matcha.
And they just bring all of these. This is just, you can just bring your animal.
Yeah, they bring your animal and they sell it, and then
they sell
They
these?
sell them, yeah. And these are their sulcatas. These are what I have, but they're $55. But the best turtle
Looks like
ever
a bunch of
is a
pre-ninja turtles.
It's a mata turtle. They look like leaves.
Oh yeah, that thing would scare me. Yeah, if you saw that and didn't realize what it was.
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh, the ear bit.
Hello. I stole this from Blake Rozier. He did it one time and I almost pooped myself.
It's a great bit. This is my bit I like to do is I don't have any cigs on me. I like to pretend light a cig in a place you're very obviously not supposed to light a cig, because anyone I know, like even the coolest person, all you have to do is you put the ding here, you got the cigarette, and you don't light it. You just make it looks like I'm doing it. And the coolest person I know will just be hanging out and we're like in the studio or something. They're like, dude, you can't fucking smoke in here. And I'm like, yeah. And I just like
It's a metaphor.
it's a metaphor for my life.
This is my favorite. Ready? This will look great on camera. Phone case.
Oh my God.
Like that, and you just kind of drop it, but then it's like oh yeah, it's random. Boom, you drop it, and then
And it's fully gone. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great one. Might have to cut that for time, but it was a good one.
yeah, we'll cut it.
They're like, dude, that guy, I didn't know he did magic.
There's something called whimsy farming too, which is like when you like go to a smoking section and you just blow bubbles, but you do it like a cigarette. That's another one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I like to make other people just feel like they're in a different place. Like they're like, I don't feel like I'm comfortable with this guy right now and just doing a fake bit, but not making anyone really feel uncomfortable. But yeah, so do you have any, I know you were talking about making music and I saw, you said you're going on tour when?
In March,
Yes.
I'm going on a little tour. I'm hitting we're going to Denver, Colorado, Omaha, Nebraska, Atlantic, Iowa, coming down to Branson, Missouri, and then going to Oklahoma City.
Branson, Missouri. I'm from Missouri. I'm a big Branson fan. That
I had
place
never
is
been to
weird.
Branson until we went on tour last year.
Got some guys coming in the studio.
Yeah, I guess they're about to rehearse.
We're about to wrap up. Yeah, but so you're going on tour. What are what dates?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
Blake knows them better, but we got to get everything locked in. But if you follow at Chandler Cooper on tour on Instagram, I'll have all the information there.
Absolutely.
But,
And
yeah.
if I'm anywhere nearby or not on tour, I cannot wait to see your band. I love going to see.
Oh, this one's
music.
not. This one's not going to be a band. It's going to be me and Sarah, and Sarah's going to DJ, and I'm going to be like,
beautiful.
yeah, it'll be cool. We're gonna.
Great.
We did a full band last year, and it was like, whoa.
And you guys are gonna fully, like, when you guys tour together, you guys gonna get a van. You're gonna go out of the Kia.
I'm going on my Kia, but not this Kia. I have another Kia.
Oh man,
It's a Kia Sorento. So I did this bit for him when he got here where I like reverse parked.
unreal bit, by the way.
It's my first time ever doing it, so I'm glad it was funny. But I popped the hood, opened up the doors, and like I was gonna blare some music, but he kind of pulled up, and I was already like sitting there, and I was like, "I word," and I get out, and I'm like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Oh yeah,"
Because I was like, oh cool, it looks like your car overheated, so you opened everything. You're like, everything, my whole car's hot.
and then I look and my engine's going, "Bum, bum, 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 bum," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I look at my check engine lights on, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I gotta turn the car off." Oh, fuck just happened here, dude? Pissed me off.
That's the thing, because that's the, like, usually we were just talking about, like, that's what's funny is we do bits to other people, but when the universe does a bit to you, where you're like, oh, haha, dude, my car's broken. Fuck, is my fucking car broke down? And that happened to you, and you're like, yeah, I came out, my engine was like shaking.
I used to do this bit where I'd pull over on the side of the road in like country roads, and I would act like my car was like overheated, and I would try to attack anyone.
I would do this thing where I'd pull over it, and anytime they got near my trunk, I would shut them in it.
Yeah.
And then I would like starve them or not let them out. And then eventually I'm like, this is funny.
Yeah, and then when I realized, oh wait, I think it went too far, then they're a loose end.
Then they're like, I'm malnourished. Like,
Yeah.
I want to understand
help.
how that's funny, but my cognitive like dissonance, it's all
Help!
fucked up.
I've been pooping in a bucket.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the bucket's still here. And
Yes.
I go in, I like change the bucket.
Yes.
Now I'm just doing Breaking Bad.
Dude, that's
You ever seen Breaking Bad?
Oh, it's my dude, best show of all time.
Yeah.
I went to the house.
Yeah, I met him.
No.
Yep. I don't know. This texted me.
No. I know I didn't show the tortoises. You got to send me all these pictures so I can show everyone.
Word.
Bro.
Yeah, not to brag, but I camped out in the
I
freezing
would
rain.
fully camp out to see them, dude. Here's the thing about Bryan Cranston. I think I'm not that big into acting. Like we like movies. Like
I think Bryan
everything.
Cranston's the greatest actor. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna say I do think because to be able to be like, and he wasn't even a stand-up. He's just an actor who can be the fucking. And I'm not the first person to say this, but like in my eyes, to see Malcolm in the Middle,
Yeah.
and then to watch Breaking Bad and be like, I don't even like how this show looks. It's all. I don't even. I was like, this show looks stupid. And then it was. I've never watched a show like as it came out before or after that, like Prison Break a little bit. But that show was so fucking good. And to see that he can do both is truly, truly incredible.
Also,
like, it's so good, bro.
Aaron Paul and him have, I think, the best chemistry ever captured on camera.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, this is scooching. That's what's happening. It's, I'm
we're
scooching.
We're scoocherinos.
I'm sitting here like this and it's inching.
Yes.
Yeah, so and he sounds like that in real life. That was the most trippy part.
He's like, yeah, bitch.
He's like, yo, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Yes.
Bitch.
That-
But no, I heard my dad called me and he goes, Chandler. I go, what's up? And he goes, dude, North Dallas, there's a Total Wine, and in the morning they're doing a meet and greet where you buy a bottle of Dos Hombres Mezcal and you get it signed and you get a picture with them. And I go, okay. So I call one of my friends and I'm like, yo, you want to go do this? He lived in Fort Worth. He lived here. So I was like, you want to do this? And he was like, fuck yes. We watched Breaking Bad together for the first time.
Yeah.
So he was like, fuck yes, I do. So I was like, all right, word. And then my dad calls me. We're in a hot tub. And my dad calls me and goes, hey, dude, they're lining up. I go, what the fuck do you mean they're lining up? And he was like, people are camping out. I'm like, it's fucking like 30 degrees. So we get sleeping bags. We go and buy sleeping bags and we get in line, right? We meet all the people and like 10 people or whatever. Well, we're going to get our spot. We're staying here. And like the next day I had to go and catch a flight. So it's like fucking crazy.
Yeah. I just want to make sure it's still recording.
You're good. But yeah, so I'm camped out there and I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, I'm in like jeans and like a corduroy like jacket. I need to get prepared to sleep out here. So we go and we like hold our spot in line. We come around the back. We go and buy sleeping bags and pillows and stuff. We come around the back way. And where the line was is gone. And we're like, where the fuck is the line? There were like 10 people here. And I look at him and I go, fuck. And we park it. We're like, they're probably here, like delusional. We go around the corner and sure enough, they were out there. And Aaron Paul was standing there and he was like, yo, anybody who's like here for a picture? You got it. Go home. Don't sleep. It's cold. And Bryan Cranston's like, oh, thank you for being here. Thank you. I'm Bryan Cranston. He didn't say I'm Bryan Cranston, obviously.
But he was just very.
But
yeah.
I was like, can we get a photo? And Aaron's like, yeah, come on. And then the next, like, Bryan Cranston he's like 70. He's tired. And Aaron Paul's not. You know, he's like 40. So he's like he's like super happy. And But the next morning, I go in line. I'm there. And Aaron sees me and he goes, yo, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Thanks for like camping out. Didn't expect to see you still.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
And then it's so fun when you get to see someone like that, and then because you get to see a little bit behind the curtain, and you're like, you're just a person, and you're like, yeah, you are acting, but you're a little bit of a version of that person that you are, or whatever. And like, honestly, I don't read a lot, but the only book I read a little bit of and listened to that was like an autobiography that wasn't like a stand-up was his book, Bryan Cranston's called A Life in Parts. And I will say, as a creative person, I don't like to be like, oh, like, you gotta read. But like, I think that book and I Am Farley about Chris Farley are like the two best books that I read that like gave you insight where you're like, we're fully all on our own journeys. Yeah. To be like anybody else isn't even a purpose or anything like that. It just gives you this like real thing that we're all going through, whatever. Because like, dude, Bryan Cranston one time quit his job. Him and his brothers had saved money, bought motorcycles,
and wanted for murder.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what happened? I don't remember that part. They were wanted for murder.
There was this guy, so they would do this thing where they would like bust tables all across the country. So what happened was they would bust tables all around the country or whatever, and they had this manager who was a prick at one of the places right before they left. And Brian had said like, oh, I just wish he's a comedian. He's funny. Yeah. So he was like, I just wish somebody would just fucking kill that motherfucker and chop him up and fucking hide his body. And then he leaves, but that night, that man dies.
Oh,
and I
fucking forgot it. Yes.
Yeah, so that guy dies. So then now he had just said he wanted to kill someone. That guy dies. Now he's driving away across the country on a motorcycle.
And they're like looking for him.
And they're
That's
looking for him.
crazy.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I remember seeing him tell that story. I think I'll tit for tat you on. I'll have to check out the Bryan Cranston one. Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey single-handedly changed my life.
Really?
Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
What is? I've never. When I say really, I've never even heard of that. And I like listening to him and like his philosophies.
his
but I didn't know he wrote
audiobook?
I didn't know
Audiobook?
he wrote a book.
Get his audiobook. He basically, so he used to since high school, he had journaled every single day, and he just kind of said yes to everything. I love saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
So he like had
I know,
journaled.
I used to do improv, but I also every time I watch Yes Man, I'm like, it really does. It's like taking liquid luck from like Harry Potter. It really, it does lead you to the best places. No will lead you into a hole, and yes will could also lead you to a terrible place. But I think if you are smart enough, it can take you to
I just don't. I just say no to orgies and brothels. And
those are what I do mostly say yes to. Yeah, so that's we're different in so many ways. Dude.
yeah, dude. So it's crazy, dude. It's that book is about like all the things that he said yes to that turned into a green light.
Yes.
And the red light, like when his father dies, it's a red light.
Yes.
You know, and the yellow light's like, oh, it needs to be cautious. It's an interesting thing, but he had journaled for years, and so he went through all of his journals and wrote the stories of the journals and refreshed it. So he went in total isolation with every journal he'd ever written in. He does it every day, and so every journal he'd ever written, boxes and boxes, and went and like camped out and wrote an entire book based off of those entries. And in the book, there are like printed, like you can see the original journal entries from the periods he's talking about, and it's so powerful. And dude, it's like he starts it off, and he's like, "I was molested by an older man while I was on peyote in the wilderness. I did this, and I'll tell you something. Everything I've done has led me to this, and boom, bang, boom." All right. And so he's like doing this whole thing. You're sitting there just listening to him and like in a trance.
It feels like a cat purring in your ears.
Yeah, and it's so fucking cool. And then, so it's like this really dope journey that he goes on. And it just inspired me so much. It inspired me so.
We were talking about like sometimes whenever you are being a unique person and you're doing your own thing, sometimes it's nice to hear another guy just like even like nearby, like we're all trying to climb this mountain and do this thing, to even nearby hear somebody and it sounds like they're going up, you're like, oh, I'm on the right side of it or whatever. I might be like on the right path or whatever. And like that shit is beautiful. Get in here, baby. I'll cut it together and we'll look fucking beautiful.
Dude, hell yeah.
But yeah, there's we'll wrap it up. And I just want to say that like, it's nice meeting another creative person because it's fun when we can get excited about doing this. Cause I feel like sometimes whenever I wake up, when you want to be creative, I don't know how your dad seemed like inspiring, but sometimes when I feel creative, it feels like I'm like ditching work or I'm like not supposed to do it when it is like a real like important thing. And it does make a difference to people and stuff. And like, dude, I was literally just taking a piss at a comedy club, checking my phone. And I was like, dude, is that Chandler Cooper followed me? And we started messaging and you were so cool. And I feel like it's cool when you start to meet. There's this guy, I feel like, do you know who you follow? I think his Instagram name is like I am Christopher. He's from Canada and he just does, it's just him in his room being like, it's like an impression of something silly, like the dinosaurs right before they all like went extinct or something like that. He's like,
oh, he holds a coffee mug.
Yeah. Somebody's holding a coffee. No, that's PD too. They're like, I'll show you stuff later. But anyway, he was a guy. Yeah, like I Christopher, but he was a guy who like had followed me. And I feel like we live in this time now where it's nice to give each other like community, and we feel like, because sometimes I'm like, am I funny? And when someone else who you think is funny follows you and thinks you're funny, Christopher, that guy.
I just saw him today for the first time in years.
Dude, I love that guy's videos. I follow him. We've messaged online how me and you did. And we just kind of both give each other like the cowboy nod a little bit of like, hey, I see you, love what you're doing. And like, I could never replicate. So again, funny. If you try to replicate that, you couldn't. And then also if you've had an idea like that, but you couldn't do it as long.
Yeah.
And so like, and you do that too. Like I love meeting people who do this other thing. Cause also stand up is a fun world and it's cool, but we live in a time where you could do anything you want. So if you just wait till the weekend to do a couple shows, like I'm very inspired by you guys to do stuff that I've written in my phone for years and be like, I don't know. Like me and my buddy used to do this bit all the time in St. Louis where we'd be like, oh, dude, I'm going to move down to St. Louis. I'm going to go to the zoo every day. Probably go to the arch. And we would do this silly bit and die laughing. And then I see you and I'm like, he's doing what he would do with his friends. But instead of being like, kind of like, I don't know if I want to post this doing it. And then you get a cult following of people who are like, my heart when you do a thing makes me be like, I have to see this thing. And then, and you know, people are doing that thing where they're sending it to other people. And then they do like, I've already seen this one from Chandler. Like, well, then fuck you, man. Or whatever. Like, yeah. Can I ask you one of my favorite videos? I don't know if it's real. I know is when you're sitting there and you're being that character, because I'm a big fart fan.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there like this, and then you fart, and it lasts so long, and then the laugh seems real, so I think it's a real fart. Was that a real fart, or is that a dubbed over fart?
The
on
one
there?
I'm a junk. That one?
Yes. And like,
That is the only one I've ever released that was actually fake.
okay. Thank you for telling me, because
Yeah.
you laughed so sincerely that I was like, did you
I laughed
shit
because it
your
kept
pants?
going. I was like, Sarah was blowing a raspberry on my stomach.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, it's not a soundbite. It is. That is. Okay.
She's blowing a raspberry on my tummy, dude.
I'm gonna say this,
And I'm like,
you might have.
jeepers. So I go, jeepers, because she's still going. But it sounded like I was shocked. I go, jeepers. I'm losing it.
I didn't even know there was something cooler than it being fake or real or a fart. Is that your girlfriend just blowing rat? You guys really have such a like. That is what every artistic guy wants. Is like another fun person who wants to play too.
Yeah.
And that is just such a. Personally, I feel like that. Like I love whenever whenever I'm dating someone, they'll be like, you think I'm like weird? I'm like, do not ever lose it. Like I like that weird. That's so beautiful. But dude, you're awesome. Is there anything you'd like to promote, clip, anything that you want to say? Because you're awesome, and I want everyone to follow you and
thank
see
you,
you.
Yeah. If I crack a beer with you and I look over at you, like I look and you look up at me and you have tears in your eyes, I'm gonna break something in your house. That's all I gotta say.
That's all he has to say. So
all I
fucking
gotta
put your
say.
breakables away. Chandler Cooper, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Love you guys. Have a good night. I'll see you later.
Buy this shirt from him.
Yeah, buy this shirt from him.
Don't. Don't.
Fucking don't. All right, later. Dude, thank you, brother.
Absolutely.